Hi everyone, and welcome to a practice called Liver Flush Yin. This will be a pretty simple sequence. However, I'd highly recommend a bolster if you have one, and if not, you can just put the video on pause and grab a cushion from your bedroom. Just something to help support your upper body as we journey through a few asanas. You might also like to put a blanket on top of your yoga mat so that your knees have more cushioning and softness of feeling throughout the duration of this class. So once you've gathered your extra props, please meet me in a comfortable sitting position. And before you close your eyes, this practice really is beneficial and helpful to everyone and anyone because our livers are so intrinsic and special in the health and functioning of our bodies. So you can use this practice as a hangover helper. You can use this practice if you've been eating some heavier, more processed or greasy foods. But also the liver is affected by things like unexpected change, particularly when you've put a lot of effort into planning something. And I think that this is something all of us can relate to, right? In the past 1.5 years is whatever it is, planning something for your business, planning a retreat, a yoga training, a workshop, planning a flight overseas, planning to have family from overseas come and visit. Whatever it might be, planning takes your attention and it takes energy. And when that amount of effort has gone into something and it doesn't come to fruition, there needs to be a healthy outlet for energy to dissipate. Otherwise, it becomes a little too hyper within the body. So in this practice, there'll be certain moves that we take that will help excess of energy, we could call this qi, to dissipate from your body. Now, on the flip side, if your energy of the liver is quite low, then you're kind of needing more to tonify and nourish, and we'll also be doing asanas that will help you to tonify. So it's a general practice welcoming everyone, and you'll get just that little bit of what you need specifically for your body. With that being said, close down your eyes just for a moment. Let your hands rest on your thighs and gift yourself a deep breath in and a long open mouth. Take 2 more. And last one. And just noting in your own disposition as of late, if you've noticed that your words have been abrupt, maybe you've been incredibly fast, perhaps brash, at making quick decisions, or a little too sharp with your tongue, a little too much fire or anger coming out. These are all signs of excess qi, liver energy in your body. So your focus may be more of dissipating, of releasing, of sighing. Now on the flip side, if you've been really unable to make clear decisions, hesitant on making a choice about something, these could be signs that the energy is a little too low. And so you might sort of softly focus your attention on one of tonifying and nourishing this energy line. If this language does not yet resonate for you, it will with time as you go deeper on the yin journey. So let come what may. Have a last breath. And blink your eyes open And we're going to do something a little more unusual together. So please bring your palms together and begin to rub quite vigorously so you generate heat. I'm going to call this exercise a meridian flush. And just to be transparent with you, this is my own interpretation. I haven't learned it from any particular lineage. Okay? So taking the warmth now of your hands and bring your fingers to the very top of your head and just tap a few times. The top of your head, probably at the area that you're tapping, is housing the governor vessel. And this is GV20. I'm starting to stimulate. Good. Now take your fingers and bring them to the center of your forehead and start to pull the skin of your forehead open. Hope that feels nice. And then turn your fingers so you're drawing the skin of your face down. You can really press in over the jaw. And as your fingers move to the bottom of the jaw, imagine catching something and flicking it away. Okay, so do that again, clearing your head. As you trace your fingers, you're already starting to affect meridian lines. One more time. Also soothing the planning mind. Good. Now, bring your hands, just looking at my microphone, and take them to your upper ribs, so just underneath your breasts or your pecs if you're a man, and start to rub your hands back and forth. What you're doing is affecting a part of the meridian channel, but also the gallbladder. So these two work in conjunction together. And I'd encourage you to even get your fingers in there between the intercostals. So we're starting to impact different meridian points of your body. Good. And now from this heat and this stimulation, take your hands and begin to slide them down the center of your torso. Slide them over your pelvis and your hip creases. Slide them almost like you're cupping your inner legs and going all the way down to your inner calves. Now, if you'd like to, you can turn your feet just a little in front of you. Slide your hands down the tops of your feet. Imagine pressing into your inner big toe. The rain just came, and whatever you catch, just boom, flick it away. Yeah? Now from here, we're going to go from your big toe and trace back up. And I'm generalizing, but often upward movements are more nourishing and tonifying. Let's take it all the way out to the sides, and then reposition your hands back to the front under your ribs, and let's go again. When your liver needs support, you will feel quite hot. Your temperature will rise. You might feel a little bit more sticky in your day-to-day. So I hope these cooling rains in Mama Bali are coming through the screen to you and helping you also cool down. Okay, so take your hands and now sweep. Coming off the big toe and flick. And now sliding up. And this will be our final time. Coming up to the ribs. And last rub. Okay, really play with moving your hands back as well. Pushing in through the heels of your hands. Good, and then just directing that warmth. Coming all the way, sweeping off the feet. And now, as a last gesture, you can bring your index and even put your middle finger on top. And then take those fingers between your big toe and your second toe. And just start to slide your fingers up and down. It's highly likely that you'll be putting pressure on something called L2 and then L3, which is slightly further up the foot. So now finding L3 as you slide your index finger up until you feel it's almost like a little crater or a little divot for your finger to hook into. And as you press, whoa, I just found it, aha, you might feel a little bit of sensitivity. So it's interesting, I can only feel it on my left foot and almost nothing on the right. And please never judge yourself if you do feel sensitivity, because it might not relate literally, right, to food choices and alcohol or coffee choices. This could just be energy. So press in and then release the pressure. Okay. Sit for a last moment with your legs crossed. If you want to bring in some wood elements, which is ruler of liver, you can touch your fourth fingertip to your thumb, rest your arms down, close your eyes. And you might even notice there's already a movement of energy awakening in your body. If you'd like to set any intention now of cooling or warming, tonifying or dispersing, please set your intention for the practice. Deep breath in. Let out a... Your liver loves sighing, by the way. And then I'll meet you in the first asana, which is child's pose. Now, child's pose can really be as wide or close together with your knees as you wish. However, when we're theming or sequencing into the liver, I would suggest that you go wider apart with your legs, because the more we're impacting your inner groin area, the more we're going to start to stimulate this channel of your body. If you would like a bolster or pillow in front of you so that it's a little softer, please by all means grab that now. You can put it underneath you to support your body, rest your arms down, and rest your head down. And the hold today, just be for a couple minutes so it's effective, but nothing too strenuous. First few minutes are always about the physical language of your body. The most important thing, that your inner knee joints feel safe and okay to be here. If you ever get a no signal, sometimes just coming out and adding more padding is all that you need. And often something starts to shift around about now, some form of dropping in, your bones sinking to earth. And you can help that along with a bit of a sigh or an adjustment to go deeper inside of the asana. Just turning your head to a neutral position, offering a deep, long inhale in any form of an open-mouthed. And bring your hands, palms down onto the floor to support you And mindfully lift the weight of your hips up. Once your hips are up, adjust your knee joints so that they're underneath your hips for support. And simply extend your right leg back behind you so you can flush the joints. And then switching and extending your left leg behind you. And from compressing and squeezing into the front of your hips, we're now going to let them open up slightly with Sphinx pose. So come and lay down onto your tummy. You can still do this if you're pregnant at home, depending on the phase, and just put a bolster underneath your hips to lift your belly away from the floor. And once you're in the position of Sphinx with your elbows slightly forward of your shoulders, just checking into the most important part, which is your lower lumbar spine. It feels healthy. And if ever it feels a little congested, you can play with legs wider apart. And if ever it feels a little painful, then squeezing your legs together actually activates a little bit of musculature, so you're more supported. And then before we drop into some stillness, if you'd like to keep using your prop, you can also put the bolster underneath your forearms, which will lift you up just a little and increase the pressure. This pose is shared a lot in kidney and bladder sequences. But as you feel here into your own spine, you might notice a pressure building to the lower back, but also traveling up into the mid-back area. And if you bring your mind's attention to the right-hand side of your mid-back, then that is where your beautiful, amazing liver is living. And your liver is about 4 or 5 pounds of body weight, continuously processing any waste byproduct that our body cannot metabolize or excrete through the digestive processes. Not only is it a sorter of toxins helping your body stay clean, but it also plays a huge role in the production of hormones, as it helps to produce cholesterol. So from these 2 points, you can really see how the health of your liver would affect your mind and clear thought, clear decision, and then also your emotions, right? Responding to life with awareness and with right action, as opposed to responding to life with fear, reactivity, emotionality. And I'm talking a lot today, so I'm going to be quiet for the last minute or so. If you'd like to go deeper into Seal, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, just keep it simple. And if you've drifted off, just inviting your breath to be a little more focused. And the last deep inhale. Feel free to let out a sigh. If you are on at your bolster, just mindfully rolling it out of your way. And I'd recommend to take your elbows wide, fold your hands up like a pillow, and rest your forehead straight down onto the mat or floor. Offer a few deep breaths into your belly, so much that your belly button presses down into the earth and your whole spine rises to relieve any sense of pressure. You can bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press up onto hands and knees. I'm going to add some very soft yang to the yin. And inhale, lift up your tailbone gently and your chin just a little. As you exhale, curve your tailbone down. Ooh, be gentle. Draw your tummy in and up and press your palms into the floor. So inhale breath, very casual cow pose. And exhale around into a cat pose. Take one more subtle movement as we shift your spine from being an extension, a back bend, to moving with very, very gentle, slight flexion with the next pose. So as you come to neutral, setting up please for a sleeping swan, which is very similar to half pigeon in yang yoga. So slide your right leg in front of you, inchworm your left leg back behind you. You are super welcome to put a cushion underneath your right buttocks to lift the weight of your hips, which will reduce a little bit of pressure in your front knee. Yeah. Now, if this is appropriate for you, you can grab your bolster, bring it in front in a slight diagonal, so that as you come forward, you can even wrap your arms around the bolster, turn your head toward the left, and lean a little bit more body weight back into your right hip. If you know the pose well, please come into it, close your eyes, and enjoy your time. And I just want to say, if this is not appropriate for anyone right now, you can come out safely by rolling onto your right buttock, guide your back left leg around to the front, and you can simply take this pose sitting with your right ankle crossing past your left thigh. And turn the heels of your hands in behind you and lift up your chest. And you notice the more you lift your chest, the more you'll feel it in your right hip. And so, in my opinion, yin yoga is not a practice of relaxing everything. The intention of yin is to relax a particular area, to allow there to be a deeper impact of the connective tissue, which is fascia. And in order to get there, either in a safe way or in a way that you hold for a long time, other parts of your body might need to be young or active. And I think that that's totally okay. So if you are deep down low on the floor, it's a little easier to switch off your buttocks, your quads, your feet, and allow gravity to reach up to your bones, to pull you downward, and nature will do its thing. A few hours ago, I had an acupuncture session with a dear friend of mine. And as usual, she was like, "Ooh, oh, your liver has something to say. The wood energy is rising again in your body." And I was like, "Oh, that's so interesting because for the last 2 nights, I've remembered my dreams. And in my dreams, I can't quite tell what the conflict is about. But in each dream, I'm frustrated and I'm shouting. And so perhaps one day this will resonate for you and you're like, oh my gosh, me too." Often the energy of shouting, particularly if you don't shout or release loud sound, this could be a building of excess liver chi in your body. And so you can do yin yoga, breath work, acupuncture. You can enjoy fresh green juices, or steamed kale and broccoli soups. Your liver loves anything that's green. You can wear green yoga pants. That'll be very helpful. But there's so many things that you can do to support your body. So I'd encourage you, when you feel little symptoms like shouting dreams, or maybe you get some headaches, migraines, blurry vision, just tired eyes, a little snappy in your delivery of life. They're all just little signals to be like, hey, I'm calling out to you. Can you please support me? And if you want one just simple, tangible thing that you could do every day, well, you could make a warm lemon water. And drink your lemon water, please, after you've brushed your teeth, so that you save the enamel, the protecting coating of your teeth. I learned that tip the hard way, so I'd love for you to save your teeth from the dentist. All right, have this be the last long breath. Let out any form of sigh that you wish. And walk your hands in slowly to lift through your chest. Move your bolster out of the way. And again, we're going to do something more unusual. So tucking under your back toes, you can lift your back knee off the floor and then simply slide your right leg behind you. Come lay down on your belly and take a rebound prone. So you can now lay down anyway. You're without a microphone, so you might rest your arms all the way down either side of your body. Rest your forehead on the floor, or you're welcome to turn it to one side. And these moments here are really for you to sigh, to moan, most importantly, to feel. And to stay with your right hip joint. Can you feel that? Is anything running down your right leg? Your right knee, right calf, right shin. You may even notice something happening in your right foot. If you know that you've got a little excess of energy here, well, you can imagine this energy line just pouring out and draining out from your big right toe. Have this be your last breath in stillness. And then same, walk your hands in. Press your body up to bent knees. And this time without the cow and cat, just moving into your left hand side. So sliding your left leg in front. Oh my goodness, that feels so good to release and lengthen the right hip. Grab your bolster. And if you need to modify, you know now that you can sit on your left hip and do this with your left ankle crossing over your right thigh. If you're moving your chest downwards, that's where the name comes, sleeping swan. So you can get yourself all cozy and into a position where you feel your right outer glute, right outer hip, inner hip, and your inner thigh line, from groin to inner leg. A few years after I had been sharing yoga full time, my dad contracted hepatitis C. And then about a year after that, my mom also contracted the same virus that attacks your liver. And it was deeply emotional and also just such an honor to hear of their separate journeys and to notice in my own observation of knowing them so well and so intimately how both of them lost the capacity to dream. And I mean dream in a sense of dreaming new ideas of how life could be, of applying action to desires and things that you want to create in your life. There was this real sense of apathy, lackluster, almost like a confusion of the mind, a lack of clarity. And thankfully, both of them through the years and natural therapies, and in my mom's case, actually drug therapy, they managed to cure a lot of the negative impact and cirrhosis that happened to the liver. And witnessing them, they both started to pursue their primary passion again. For my mom, art, and for my dad, music. So I'm sharing a little bit more personal information, but so that you can reflect it to yourself, you know, your loved ones, people that you know in your life. And please not to diagnose them, especially if you're going out to a coffee shop with them. Unsolicited advice is rarely welcomed, but more is just like food for thought and interest, research of how much your organs affect your mind, emotions, and state of being. And in turn, how much your mind and your state of being also impact the health of your organs. So essentially in yoga, you'll notice you can't separate things. Even my language of trying to separate a liver meridian line, it doesn't work like that. You know, it's one complete holistic experience, just as you are one complete holistic being. These last few breaths, can you breathe in a way that helps you to feel whole? The fullness of your body, and the fullness of your breath. Last long breath on this side. Taking your time, using your hands to bring your chest upright. And for the very last time, let's take a rebound, belly down. So mindfully lowering. If you did turn your head in one direction, you might like to switch directions on the second side. And now really bring your mind's attention, your awareness, into the interior of your left hip joint. Left thigh. Left knee joint. Left shin and calf. Left ankle joint, feeling your left foot and your left big toe. Stay with the sensations. They dissipate from gross, which means intense, to subtle, less obvious. And take a last deep breath. And return your hands underneath your shoulders. Press up onto bent knees. And from here, we're going to set up for a dragonfly. So you can pop your bum, your hips down to one side and release your legs out in front of you. Now this is an interesting pose, and approaching it this way is not for everyone. So first, see how comfortably wide can you separate your legs. Notice as you slide your hips forward if you have room to tilt your torso forward. And if the answer is no, you can go to the wall, lay your back down on the floor, and put your legs up on the wall. You may also have a portable prop, well-timed Sundari. And portable props are great because they're also quite warming and they're a little bit furry. So dragonfly pose. If you don't have an animal, you can also use a bolster and put it, please, underneath your forearms as we settle into this posture for a couple minutes of time. Just like the very first child's pose of class, there's this impact again on your deep inner leg lines. And seeking that sensation of just deep, warm heat. Something that's felt, but never ever painful. As your body gets more used to this and dominant muscles let go, you might like to explore pointing your feet strongly and then flexing them. And repeat this movement a few times. Essentially what's happening is it's helping to lengthen the head of your femur bone just slightly away from the hip socket joint, which is offering some more space to the joint and therefore more potential for hydration. Now, after you do that, you could lift your chest slightly and even come further and down deeper into the pose. And then closing your eyes and just dropping into the feeling state. Last few breaths, just exploring if you can melt any resistance. Sometimes we don't even realize that our legs are gripping or holding. If you're doing this posture at the wall with your legs open, you might like to stay longer. And I'd also recommend that you guys are more mindful in coming out, and please use your hands and the strength of your arms to support your legs. For those of us that are on the floor right now, as I am in this video, let's take a last deep breath. And then start to walk your hands in slowly, slowly, so that you can lift up the weight of your chest. Bring your hands, slide them underneath your knee joints so that you can support yourself. And then just manually bring your legs together, one by one. This next pose is called the cosmic egg. So you can wrap your arms around your legs, squeeze your thighs towards one another. And if your neck will allow you, rest the weight of your forehead down. And on days where it feels good, really let your spine round here. It's a full egg shape. I can never speak for you, but it's likely that there's a sensation of vulnerability after pulling your legs wide apart. It's probably the least common movement pattern within a more Western type culture. So have a last long breath in your cosmic egg. And then you can use cosmic egg to come and lay your back down onto the floor. Oh, that feels so nice. So once you're laying down with your legs bent and your feet on the floor, just gift yourself a breath or two to let your sacrum settle. And then pick up the weight of your hips and just move them slightly over to the right of your yoga mat. And you can lift your feet right up off the floor and lower your legs to the left. Now, you are always welcome to put your pillow or your cushion between your thighs, and that'll reduce the pulling experience in your spine. Optional is to reach your right arm out like a wing, and you can always turn your head to the right as well. Close down your eyes and enjoy some long breaths, especially as this right side lengthens out, the side of your liver. If you enjoy adding visualization into your practice, choose a color of green that really appeals to you. Anything from bright spring blades of grass in the sun to a deep emerald lake. And just imagining that color moving in and out of your body with every breath that you take. Anything to clear, offer a last deep breath, letting your diaphragm move in a full open mouth. Ta. Draw your navel toward your spine for support and use your inhale breath to lift your legs back to center. As you pop your feet on the floor, just adjust your pelvis so you feel more neutral and do nothing. Just for a few breaths. Wow, on some days you can even feel the flow of blood moving back to the kidney region, the liver region. And then taking the second side, so hips a little off to the left, that's going to help you rotate your pelvis into the twist, adjust your ribs as you need, and of course you can stretch out your opposing left arm like a wing. I haven't mentioned your gallbladder meridian during this practice at all, really, but it runs, in layman's terms, through your outer body, your lateral body. So even here you might notice like your outer left thigh, your outer left hip, the outer left waistline of your body, and that's all affecting your amazing gallbladder's energetic functioning, which of course houses the bile of your body and really helps for you to break down and assimilate fat, which is healthy. It protects and coats the cells of your body. This feels even and balanced to you. Offer a last deep breath right into your tummy. With navel awareness, draw your legs back to center. Reposition, please, your sacrum on the floor. And then you can bring your hands onto your inner thigh area, kind of like the start of class. Lift your feet off the floor. Slide your hands through your inner legs and slide all the way up so you can catch the inner arches of your feet, particularly the back of your big toe mounts, And of course, you can rock or move. You don't have to be still. We'll enjoy a last opening of your inner leg lines, a compressing at the front of your hip joints. And the compressing is tonifying, pulling and opening is dispersing. If you're in the mood, take a last deep breath in. Open up your mouth and bend your knees, moving your heels towards your hips. Turn your feet down to the floor and extend your legs out long, one by one, for time to rest in your shavasana. Make all the little wriggles and adjustments that you need, from your tailbone through to your shoulder blades. And personally today, I'm going to rest with my hands on the hip joints and just really feel that aftermath, the return of blood, but also liquid in the body. Let's take a last deep inhale together. Hold your breath in and pause. Let there be a sense of internal pressure. And then a generous open mouth to exhale. Like your beautiful body is now a leaf that's landed on water. Just an internal rocking, slowly becoming more and more still. Deep, nourishing restfulness. Let's return to a deeper breath. You might like to stretch your body out into a big yawn across the floor, or just stay really quiet and still, and that is your freedom of choice. What I would suggest is today, if you roll over to your side, roll please to your right hand side and just rest there for a moment so that your blood can flow more in the direction of gravity. And it's interesting, but when your blood can rest towards your liver, it's very nourishing and healing for your liver. So even if you can't sleep at night, it's actually better to stay laying down in bed in a resting position, because that way your liver again can better replenish and restore its function. And so from here, coming up to a sitting pose that feels comfy for you, with the padding of a cushion if you wish. And if you'd like to sit with mudra, you can bring your fourth finger to your thumb and just rest the backs of your hands on your legs. Take a breath to settle. Your body is absolutely incredible. Responding not only to how you move and what you eat and drink, but responding to every thought that you have. Responding to the words that you do and do not speak. So ask yourself, do you want to be a body that can bend in the wind like bamboo? Or do you want to be stuck like a dry piece of bark that snaps in the wind or a storm? So palms together in an offering at your own heart. Reflecting on your practice, your own awareness of your body and its energetics. Be like bamboo, adaptable, capacity to change, capacity to take on new information without a dogmatic response. Last breath. I bow to you. Namaste. Your homework might be a green juice. It might be the practice of warm lemon water every morning. And if you'd rather have lasagna and a glass of red wine, just do this class again tomorrow. No problem. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you online very, very soon. Bye.
If you're enjoying these classes, then I want to invite you to my membership service, CCY Studio. This is where we get to explore with longer classes, full-length classes, and we get to investigate not only more into the physical body and longer shavasanas, but also yogic and Buddhist philosophy, and more time to marinate and percolate with all of it. Also just putting up a new asana library, and this has about 10 of the core poses and really intricate ways and investigations to put it not only in your body, but also some teaching tips. So if you're a teacher, this is really valuable as well. So if you're interested, you get a 14-day free trial. You can cancel at any time, and I just encourage you to check it out. I think that it's a beautiful place to go a little bit deeper. So I hope to see you over there. You can find more details in the links below.